God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait. I've got an idea.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Nerdrotic.com.
Good save there, X-Ray girl.
What'd I do?
You hit the applause button while I was fumbling with the mic. So.
Oh, that's in the video.
In the video? Oh,
yeah, I made it that way.
X-Ray girl. Well done.
Thank you.
Best producer on the planet, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner, because everybody needs a nooner, especially on Hump Day, prior to Thanksgiving. Everybody wants to be in a good mood before you start arguing about politics at the dinner table. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from Nerdrotic.com and my mom's vagina. And we have a hell of a show. So I can't believe this. I kind of thought it'd be quiet after the Marvels. Sweet summer child. Holy crap. Some incredible news has dropped. Not the Star Wars news. Our boy Ryan did a great video on this and stream on it last night, talking about Dave Filoni's promotion to the same position he was before. I've actually had I've had a couple of those promotions myself where, hey, you get more responsibility, you get a title, you don't get more pay. You don't get more pay, and we get to blame you for more stuff. Then, of course, there's the fallout from the Marvels that's still going on. It's unbelievable. I think it did $1 million on Monday. $1 million.
Oh, no.
As tweeted about this, what was it, like $200? $235 a theater.
For theater, yeah.
Per theater. But there's a Doctor Who review of the 60th that we have to go over. I could not believe this when I saw it. It was, oh my God. We are winning, ladies and gentlemen. Winning. Yes. Of course, we had to lose quite a bit to get here, but Chris Gore drinking out of Batman's head. How you doing?
Doing great, Gary. Just getting ready for the holiday. Very excited. And yeah, that shirt is very appropriate. I don't feel tardy. Love it. And just I don't know, like, look, I don't want Marvel to be bad. It just is bad. And this news, we haven't even talked about the stuff like the Silver Surfer is now going to be a woman, or are they using Nova? Like, what are they doing?
I think the Access Media doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and I think they're going to use Nova, which would be right in line with the MCU and show that Marvel isn't changing at all.
No,
that's what I think. Or it's complete BS. It's just a pooper scooper.
And I actually like Pedro Pascal. He's not Reed Richards. He's not Reed Richards. He's just not. I'm sorry. Like,
he's not a bad actor. No.
Not a bad actor. You know, I think he's very good. Not in that role. I think that's a huge mistake. So I don't know. I just think it's I don't know, lack of interest. And even like Ryan brought up something, I think it might have been on the G&G Daily, talking about like, it's so funny. We just launched right in. We haven't even intro.
All right, that's where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
We're going in raw.
We're going in raw.
But he was saying there's maybe people have grown tired of shared universes where there's an obligation. It's sort of like, if you ever like had people rave about a TV show, and there's 6 seasons in, and you're like, I'm not going to watch it. There's 6 seasons in. How can I catch up? Or I've missed it, like I've missed the last couple seasons. I mean, I fell off on The Walking Dead after the first couple seasons and then never went back. And I kind of feel like this is where Marvel is, and DC for that matter.
I agree.
It's like seasons of a show where you haven't watched everything, so you feel like you're gonna miss it. And this is where we are. I was checking on ticket sales for Aquaman 2, by the way.
Ooh.
It went on sale on Monday. Empty theaters. I'm looking at, and usually the Burbank AM16, which
that's
is
the home field. That is the just sorry to interrupt, but that is the home field for Hollywood.
Right. It is the most profitable AMC theater in all of the United States. And like, you have to grab tickets for all the big movies. You got to grab tickets because the prime screenings, IMAX premium format, 7 p.m. show always sell out. Tons of seats for Aquaman. Now,
wow.
I predict that Aquaman 2 is going to beat the domestic box office for the Marvels. And I'll tell you why. Because it's the only movie over the holiday where everyone can go, fine, we'll just go see Aquaman 2 then.
Yep.
Because all the other movies are too adult or too for kids. This is right there in the middle. Like, it'll appeal to kids and adults. And actually, to be honest, like Jason Momoa, shirtless. A lot of women.
I don't know about now, but
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, over the Marvels, I'd pick him.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with the last Aquaman. It was released during Christmas, $1 billion movie. But I'm late on this clip, but this is how we're doing the
Give
show.
me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
Oh my God.
Oh, we have a Screen Rant article. If we have time, we will go over it. There's
so much because we didn't do the Nooner last week, and there's so much stuff.
And we can't do it next week either.
Oh, that's right. Okay, but that's cool. That's cool, man. I'm just saying there's so much other news, like this Disney Wish movie. Real quick before you get into this article, just a quick thing. This will maybe tease our afternoon show, Hollywood on the Rocks, after this at the Film Thread channel. Alan Ng did a review of Wish. Alan Ng is the biggest Disney fan ever. I mean,
Ng the Merciless.
Like, he's had an annual pass forever. He's a Disney historian. He grew up with Disney. He's been to the Disney Museum. He could go on and on about facts about Walt Disney himself. It's an accidental anti-Marxist film. And he went on a whole thing on Film Thread, did his review. It's a terrible movie. But what was funny was all these people coming out of the woodwork who worked on Wish suddenly emailing me, wanting to talk to Alan about this stuff. So it's kind of crazy stuff. The basic gist of it is, it was supposed to be the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. This movie was going to be a tribute to the history of Disney animation, and it's a big FU to Walt. And originally the movie was supposed to be about the origin of the song When You Wish Upon a Star. It morphed into something else where effectively, I can't go into detail, but in the same way that they got rid of John Lasseter, they got rid of all the seasoned veterans, brought up a lot of people who were less experienced, and they made a piece of hot garbage. So I would be paying attention to that, Gary, as well. Put that on your radar.
I definitely will be. I mean, this is going to be it's hell month for Disney.
Right.
They had to lie and cheat and steal, in my opinion, to get those meager 4 million subscribers to sell to their stockholders to get a little bump for their stock. They could, if they would have spent that much time making good content, that would have helped their stock and staying out of politics. Instead, they have to offer this $1.99. They had to offer a $1.99 special here in North America. They got 4 million freaking subscribers. That's it. The other is Hotstar. They're conflating it with Hotstar, which is in India, and they don't make any money off that at all. They're, in my opinion, I am not a financial analyst, lying to their stockholders every fucking day, every day. And you know, there's a point where, you know, you just got to support something else. Just know that if you're at this point a classic liberal, a centrist, a libertarian, a Republican, a Christian, they hate you. The people there hate you. They freaking hate you. And you know what? Your kids can have just as good of a time at Universal. Just saying. I've got that article ready, by the way, so we'll discuss that. Hello, Exode Agu. I'm sorry I don't have your sound effect.
That's okay. Hi.
I gotta put that in this board.
I thought you would have it. I miss it now. Like in like
that.
5 days, you'll be home and have the sound
For
effect.
a minute.
But hi everyone. I just saw there's a super chat about music, and it just made me think. I chatted with Nick about music and his Mustache and Lemmy and Iron Maiden, and I'm like, ooh, I need more music recommendations from you.
Yeah, Nick Weiser. You're talking about Nick Weiser.
Yeah.
32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, our good friend who showed up at the meetup in Wisconsin, which was great.
Awesome.
I do have to, real quick, we're not going to do show next Wednesday for a very good reason. LA Comic-Con. We're going to be at LA Comic-Con. And we're doing, Chris is doing 3 panels. I think I'm going to be on 2 of them, Chris.
You're on 2 of them, yeah. And I don't know if you were on that email loop where I kind of sent like a little FAQ of what we're doing. Yeah, you're doing 2 panels. Yeah. So gotcha. I think I sent it to you, X-Ray Girl, too, with some graphics on there. But feel free to make your own graphics or whatever. Like, you know.
So what are the 3 panels, Chris?
So the 3 panels are, because I have to look at it. So a lot of times I'll make a graphic just so it's for me. So Saturday, December 2nd, you can see Gary, myself, Paulie from Latino Slant, Ing the Merciless, and Saturday, December 2nd at 1:30 p.m., The Death of the Modern Franchise. And then 3:30 p.m., we're doing a panel, Indie Filmmaker Survival Guide. My buddy Jim Agnew is going to be on that panel, Gary. You know, you might want to pop by that panel. Then you'll also be doing a panel on Sunday, December 3rd, 2:30 p.m., Why 99% of movies today are garbage. Oh, you've got the graphic.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And all panels are in room 308AB. We will be recording them. So if you're unable to attend, hopefully you'll be able to see it. So
hell yeah. So that's we'll be trying, things will be back to normal after that. I'm gonna go home for like a day and a half after this, and because I'm actually staying an extra day because of Doctor Who, and not because I think it's going to be good. As a matter of fact, quite the opposite now. Let me share this.
Does it premiere on that Sunday?
It premieres on Saturday.
Oh wow!
I have. Let me know in the chat. I haven't been paying attention. Is it going to be on Disney Plus the same time it's going to be on the BBC? I'm guessing yes, because then it would be on Disney Plus in the morning. If you, I'm going to be watching it another way. So I'll be watching it another way. but I'll probably get what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch it for the members. For the members, if you're a member of the channel, I'm gonna sit there and do a reaction to the episode.
Whoa.
Because here's what I thought. I had about 2% hope they'd actually turn it around. And if you followed the channel, Doctor Who is my favorite TV show of all time. Okay, it's my favorite TV show of all time. I'm a big fan. And when Ncuti Gatwa was announced, I was willing to give him a chance. RTD's back. They're bringing back David Tennant. All sounds good. My hopes were dashed in the first interview they gave at the BAFTAs over almost 2 years ago now, when they referred to the Doctor as a they, them, and started talking about representation. And then Russell T Davies has been telling us for 2 years exactly what he's going to do. Now, I'm not going to vilify a fan for holding out hope. That's your job. Fans are a hopeful lot, and we love you for it. Please continue doing that. But Russell T Davies has been telling us exactly why he came back, and it was for the message. And if you don't believe me, let's read this article from the BBC. Freaking BBC. Doctor Who, The Star Beast, first look review, the first 60th anniversary special is a whimsical affair. You're like, oh, that doesn't sound that bad, right? Wait.
No.
This is Neil Armstrong, props for being a great astronaut and a reviewer of television, by the way. David Tennant and Catherine Tate return to the that sounds great, right? Returns to the Star Beast, the first of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special. Neil Armstrong tells fans what to expect. As the long-running UK science fiction show about the eponymous Doctor, a Time Lord who travels through space and time, celebrates its 60th anniversary, writer Russell T Davies is back. By the way, you can't spell retard without RTD. For another stint in charge, it is effectively the third new beginning for the show following the original run from 1969 to 1989 and its revival, which began in 2005 and ended when Jodie's era ended and the show was canceled. They say it was almost canceled. No, the show was canceled. A huge fan of the original series, Davies was largely responsible for the Naughty's return, presided over the Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant eras. His comeback has been greeted with jubilation by those fans who felt that recent seasons had not been amongst the best. Well, the ratings prove that. The Power of the Doctor, the final episode of Chris Chibnall's stint as the most recent showrunner, pulled off something of a coup de theater at the very end of the episode. By the way, an episode that had horrific ratings, even though David Tennant did come back at the end, which they mention. So now we have Tennant, one of the most popular incarnations of the Time Lord, back in the saddle for the 60th specials before Gatwa gets the keys to the celebrated space and time machine, the TARDIS. The Star Beast, the first episode of those specials, is loosely based on a comic strip that appeared in Doctor Who Weekly magazine in 1980. In it, the Doctor is as much in the dark as we are as to why they're back.
What?
They're back to their old self. Tennant bowed out of the role in 2009, and Tennant is not the only returning veteran. One of the Doctor's companions, their best friend, Donna Noble, Catherine Tate, is back too. For complicated reasons, when they were last hanging out 15 years ago, we all know about Dr. Donna. Okay. The story that Donna has accepted is that she is a bit of a breakdown that caused her to forget everything. All right. Like I said, something lovely is gone. We saw that in the trailer. The Doctor, soon after arriving in London, is distracted by a spaceship crashing and races to the scene. One of the escapees is a Meep, voiced by Miriam Morgulaeus, a cute, furry, big-eyed alien. The Meep says it's being pursued by monsters who want to kill it. And plot-wise, that's about all we're allowed to tell you. A big change since the last season is the fact that D+ is now the distributor for Doctor Who internationally. A deal between Disney and the BBC was announced last year, and it presumably means the show has a much bigger budget than in the past. Well, maybe for now. Davies told GQ, it was more than I've ever had to work with. So can we see that money on screen? Well, no, not really. Not yet. There might be a few more extras in the battle scenes, but the special effects are unremarkable. In fact, It's difficult to imagine even the most fervent fan being anything other than a little underwhelmed by the first special. If you could measure Who episodes on a scale of runs from whimsical to terrifying, this one is much more at the whimsical end of the range. There's a twist that you can see coming from galaxies away, and the comedy consists mostly of Donna shouting, "What the hell?" If you love Doctor Who, you'll probably enjoy it. Tennant's Doctor is still a charismatic charmer and still makes liberal use of his firm hair hold gel. As Rose, old companion Rose, not the new character Rose, once remarked, he has great hair, really great hair. There's a lot of fan-pleasing stuff. The sonic screwdriver seems to have had a serious operating system upgrade. I'm not happy about that. A promising new character, Shirley Ann Bingham, played by Ruth Madeley, is introduced. She's a scientific advisor, number 56 to the Doctor's one-time employer military organization unit. I was a scientific advisor, number 1, says Doctor. There you go. We need women in STEM. But if you've been indifferent to Who, this won't be the episode to convert you. And if you're altogether new to the show, you'll probably wonder what all the fuss is about. And although the show has always been progressive, look at the number of stories over the decades about, for example, threats to the environment. This special is preachy. And by the end, little more than a delivery system for, wait for it, the message.
You need an echo. You need an echo on that, Gary. The message.
He just quoted The Critical Drinker in a fucking BBC Doctor Who review. Hey, oh, buddy.
Oh my God. That hurt.
I mean, that means that they're aware of Drinker. How could you not be? I mean, you know, between yourself and, you know, Drinker, those are the biggest videos on YouTube in terms of covering pop culture stuff.
Right?
I mean,
Drinker's number 1 with a bullet, and I'm cool with that. Right. I being in the same company is good enough for me. That is really good and an honor. And that's thanks to you guys out there. Chris Gore, you're a professor nerd.
Right. Yeah.
So don't sell yourself short, baby.
Right. Right. But this is just, first of all, not surprising at all. But do they understand that, like, it feels a lot of this stuff now, it's just border on, you've talked about it's propaganda. It's not a message that allows you to think for yourself. That's not what the message is. Because having watched like genre stuff from, you know, God, watching the Twilight Zone when I was a kid up through so much of this stuff, it was always something where, and think for yourself. That's not a message that anyone's putting out. I don't know if you've heard of this thing that they're doing now in the state of California, Gary. Have you heard this thing where they're going to teach media literacy to kids in school to look out for misinformation? This is pure 1984 Brave New World BS.
Yeah, that whole term, media literacy. So we need you to parse out the propaganda to find the right propaganda. But
it's going to be taught in schools. That's the scary thing. Like, and not to like college. We're talking about young kids.
I am not surprised in the least bit. Get your kids out of public school. Get your kids out of California.
Yeah, I'll try to find one of the many articles about this.
Didn't a nanny just get 707 years?
This is it.
California, though.
California's new law requires K through 12 students to learn media literacy. K through 12, Gary.
It's going to be a course.
Yeah, all I gotta do, look up media literacy.
Is this part of the curriculum of California? All right. Well,
anyway, sorry to derail, but it's a message, right?
The message is they're going to try to, especially next year. We're ramping up for next year, and it's going to hit everything. It's going to hit entertainment. Even though I'm not going to delve into politics on the channel because I don't do it, but I'll definitely do it when it starts getting into our entertainment and tries to socially engineer us, which they admitted they're doing. The BlackRock clip, it's in one of my strike videos. You can go see it yourself. It's on YouTube. You can go find it. We are going to force behavior Forced behavior. Yeah, that's beyond 1984 shit. It really is. 1984 is was supposed to be a story, not a history.
Well, I'm curious. First of all, I can't wait to see your review of the new Doctor Who, but I'm just curious what exactly this message is that they think that they need to.
He can't talk about the plot, but I'm guessing because Donna's child, its name is Rose. That's the only pronouns that's me being nice. Okay. That's me being nice. I want you to all remember that. Its name is Rose. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the message. It's the BBC and it's Russell T Davies and it's the UK. So the environment will be in there for sure.
Right.
We will see. So what does this bode for the future of Doctor Who in the new season? It's dead. It's fucking dead.
Yeah.
But there's other reasons, which will begin next year following these 3 specials and a Christmas special introducing Gatwa properly. It's difficult to say, but let's hope the imminent appearance of Neil Patrick Harris as a classic villain, the Toymaker, in the 3rd and final special will really kickstart the new era with a bang. Hard to do that when your showrunner is out there disrespecting fans. Like right out the gate, he's disrespecting fans. There's people, the Davros, if you're not familiar, Davros is a iconic Doctor Who villain. He rolls around, he's half Dalek. So he rolls around and he's half Dalek, but they see it as a wheelchair now. So he removed him. Basically, his classic look is gone because Russell T Davies said times have changed and we don't want to, associate villains with people who are in wheelchairs.
Oh my God, so dumb.
So then you better change Darth Vader.
Right.
For people with prosthetics. Is Mark offended by Darth Vader, X-Ray Girl?
Absolutely no.
No.
No one's offended.
And people are like people in wheelchairs. Some are like all for it, but they also like the Jodie era. Let's point that out. And then there's others going, wait a minute, I've been in a wheelchair all my life. I've never seen myself as Davros. and that, what does that say about Russell T Davies? I that never crossed my mind. Just like, like coding orcs as black people, like how can that cross your mind? You better check yourself on that one. That's all I got to say. Check yourself.
They literally took a job away from someone who could have played a man in a wheelchair.
Yeah. That's it's not about representation and inclusion. It's about their egos. It's about making the elite look good so they can go circle jerk each other at their cocktail parties and talk about how great they are and then give each other awards. That's what it's always been about. They don't care about your cause. They don't care about any of this. And once your cause is no longer useful, you will be forgotten. You will be forgotten. We got cancel culture running around right now, again, rearing its ugly head because some adult pretenders decided to pop their idiotic mouths off about the conflict in Israel, which I'm not going to do, and I don't recommend any actor do. And an actress got fired from Screen 7, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, cancel culture!" Like, and it's been brought up. Where the fuck were you for Gina Carano? And what did I say? I said this, and I know other people said this too. When Gina Carano was getting canceled, and people were cheering on them all, one day it's going to come for you, motherfucker. One day it's going to come for you, and here it is. Here's that day. So I'm not for it. I don't think she should have gotten fired. I don't think anybody should get fired over their political opinions. That's my stance. It'll always be my stance. But if karma's a bitch. Watch out. Okay. Watch out. That's crazy though. So congrats to the critical drinker, but congrats to you in the chat. Congrats to the fellowship. Congrats to everybody subscribes and supports the drinker and Az and Chris. There's truly Geeks and Gamers and a bunch of other great channels out there. And it's your support that's gotten us here. And when they want to quiet us down, they want to quiet you down. Just if one of us gets shut down, which I doubt, it's entertainment, but you never know. There'll be somebody else to pop up. And that's why I said, if you want a good hobby, pick up a microphone, get up on YouTube. It's not perfect, but if you're going to be in the entertainment field, you'll be okay. As long as you tell the truth. And that's what the drinker in character, he's still telling the truth. That's how he feels. Okay. So authenticity is the currency of the future, to quote our friend Robert Meyer Burnett. And that it looks like it's winning the day right now. Yellow Flash too. Is Yellow Flash in the chat? Hail Yellow Flash.
Hail Yellow Flash.
Hail Yellow Flash. Subscribe to Yellow Flash. Hell yeah. Thanks for have my back on a couple of videos. I appreciate that, buddy. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Oh, and Steve Rogers is Captain America too. I'd be getting a little shit for that too. Just because I said the Captain America sequel is not going to have Captain America in it. And like, don't you read comic books? And I'm like, those are my favorite reply guys. and I hold back. I like they can have their say. I'm not going to point out. I love what Yellow Flash does. He's like, show me your long boxes.
Yeah.
Show me your long boxes, comic reader. Yeah, I know. I know that Sam Wilson Captain America is a comic book that started in 2015. It was canceled in 2017, and its grand total of issues sold to every comic store didn't even reach $1 million. And you're skipping over hundreds of comic books about Steve Rogers that sold millions of comic books over decades to get to the one that was canceled within 2 years. And some of those books were late, by the way. Some of those books were late. But I could show you that I have a comic collection that is spread over 2 states in 2 storage facilities and a house. I could certainly talk about that, but I didn't read one. It's all good. It's all good. That's crazy though, right, Chris? That a BBC review quoting the drinker.
Well, it's also a BBC review that it's on the BBC website. Which it's kind of shocking that it's a mid to negative review.
Yeah.
Of which that to me is surprising unto itself. Also, you mentioned Truly. Is that a channel? Because for me, that's more it's a drink. I know I saw X-Ray Girl perk up when.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
I was going to look it up see if it's on Rotten Tomatoes yet.
But look, this isn't surprising. Wasn't there a photo that leaked of them shooting new Doctor Who with the new guy? I mean, I checked out. I checked out after Matt Smith. I'm sorry, but like I'm Doctor Who is your thing, and I grew up watching it, like the old school. Remember when they were indoors, it was shot on video, and then they go outdoors and it was shot on like 16 millimeter film. Like way back when. We're talking about like when I would watch PBS and they would have like episodes of Monty Python and then Doctor Who and whatnot. So I've like checked in and out. And to me, David Tennant is great. He is, and I like the Christopher Eccleston that first season. I thought, oh, this is something fresh. This is something new. This is different. It just felt different than old school Doctor Who, and it felt like there you go.
And check out, by the way, Baggage Claim has a great channel. If you haven't subbed, you're crazy. Sub to her channel. She's wonderful.
Oh my god, yeah. Baggage Claim is awesome. She did a video recently. I don't know. I just watch all her videos. So
do I.
Marvel's one
awesome.
is good.
Yeah, that Marvel's one is so good.
Everyone's
so
Marvel's one is so good.
Yeah, I know, but look, you cannot deny. Forget what we're saying. The numbers don't lie. You're the best.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you.
Well, it's under $100 million domestic is crazy. And the other thing is that someone was pointing out, there was an article today talking about this movie, Wish. Watch that movie. And I'm not saying watch the movie like as a recommendation. I'm saying watch what happens with this film from a business standpoint. Disney was almost guaranteed. Disney would always release a Thanksgiving weekend movie that would always make $150 million opening weekend.
Yep.
During things, go back, look historically. This will barely crack 50. And people who've seen it, I don't know anyone who likes the film. Even the critic scores for Wish are bad. So Marvel is one thing, but the fact that they're imploding on this, the thing that built the company, that made the company what it is today, animation, starting with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, one of the first feature-length animated movies of all time called Disney's Folly in the 1930s. They thought he was crazy. No one wants to watch a cartoon more than 5 minutes. You're crazy, Walt Disney, and changed the business forever. And then built classic upon classic upon classic. And now has completely, this is the thing that is most it's really sad about it, is it's like a middle finger to Disney's past. That's what this is. Like, that's what the movie represents. So just pay attention to that box office. I think I know this is, I'm Gary, I have to apologize. Every time I'm on a live stream, it's like, oh, we're going to talk about this. Well, there's this one thing I want to mention that does tie in indirectly.
It ties in. No, it's absolutely. I mean, the title of this is kind of a precursor to our panel. It's, it's the fall of the modern franchise, and it just didn't need to happen. But you had a great tweet that I think you put up twice now.
I'm gonna put it up that's my new, your thing is Miles Morales.
Yes.
I might actually send this out every week.
You can schedule it. Schedule
I can just send it, but I want to quote tweet a different piece of evidence to make my point. Like, turning Marvel and Star Wars into girl brands will prove to be one of the costliest decisions in entertainment history. So that'll be my I'll just do it like every once in a while. I'll put the same one out. But I literally, I lost friendships because of this tweet, Gary. This is how petty people are. A friend in the nerd space that I've known for over a decade just unfollowed me on Twitter, quote tweeted me, but made it so I couldn't reply to her quote tweet.
Who is it?
Saying,
give me 2 minutes.
I'll tell you personally.
Yeah.
It may be someone you know, may not. But and then someone I'm just shocked that this is what happened.
Never your friend, Chris. They were
it was never my friend to begin with.
Ever your friend.
Was never my friend to begin with. If there's so like, and then I followed that tweet up with like, what did I say? I said, what did I said? I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can be friends with people who do not agree with 100% of your opinions. And all I was doing with this tweet was pointing out the business reality that we have seen these. Look, Barbie, smart. It's a girl brand, 75 plus years of history of Barbie. And they made a movie for women and girls.
Undeniably the best marketing job since Black Panther, maybe even surpassing Black Panther. Like,
it was an event. You're right. It was an event like Black Panther. It was big, and it was like, damn, that's smart. Why don't they make a Star Wars movie for men? Men.
It would make money.
It would make money, but they're losing. I was listening to G&G Daily this morning or watching it, and Jay said something smart, which is always a treat. And I love Jay. And he was basically talking about that, like, they're losing Gen Z. Like, they just don't, Star Wars isn't cool anymore. And in order for a franchise or a brand to continue, it needs to carry on from generation to generation. Barbie carried on from generation to generation. Even Star Wars, as a father, when am I going to show Star Wars to my kids? Am I going to take, and now you have to wrestle with, well, what order do you show them? I can tell you what the order is. You can watch 4, 5. We should watch 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6. That's sort of the order. And then don't watch 7, 8, 9. Delete them. They didn't exist. But the point is, it used to be a thing. Like, you pass on the things you loved as a kid. Like, one of the fun things when my kids were young was, I'm going to take them to Disney movies I saw when I was a kid, and we're going to watch them together or buy them on VHS. Huge. These franchises, the damage, this is the long-term damage being done. 4, 5, 6, stop. Yeah, Mr. Batsuit. Yeah, true. But also, like, it was a thing. Like, I want to pass on the pop culture that meant something to me, the stuff that resonated with me, so, and I can see it through their eyes for the first time. It's an amazing experience. And the fact that, like, who is going to do that? What parent is going to watch episodes 7, 8, and 9
Oh, they don't
Star-
have kids.
Yeah, that's right. They don't have kids.
Don't have kids. No offense to people who don't have kids, by the way. Not everybody.
Right, no, that's
Not
fine.
for everybody. Okay, I'm not trying to be like one of those parents.
Right.
But,
In
I'm
any
just saying
case,
that they're going to show them to their cats.
they're losing. This is what keeps a franchise alive, is a new generation discovering these movies. And what they're discovering is these older movies are better. These older movies, there's something about them. I think a lot of it is the modern writing. Wish completely represents everything wrong with modernity in modern film. It's just
I'm gonna have to watch this now. God, this feels like it's like Little Mermaid. It's like,
no, it's worse than that. It's worse than that.
Oh,
Because that was Little Mermaid was
Dang
lazy.
it.
It's lazy. This is, I mean, at least watch Alan's video. I mean, I trust Alan. I have no interest in seeing
watched
Wish
it.
or the new Trolls.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched all your stuff.
But like, and I'm just saying, what this represents is I keep freezing. My face keeps freezing in the most awkward, weird expressions. It's
Sorry,
if you're
it's
not
not
watching.
freezing for me. So.
You're
freezing you?
fine now. Yeah.
Okay, fine now. Okay, cool. But it's going to kill a franchise. In order to survive, it's got to be passed on to a generation. Star Wars isn't cool, and Marvel is next. Marvel is not going. It might take a couple more bad movies. It's not going to be cool anymore. And you know that kids will go through phases of like, this is cool, this is not cool, whatever.
Yeah, I did.
Remember Pogs. I remember Pogs. Probably
I remember
remember.
thinking, well, I wasn't a kid, but I remember that.
I wasn't a kid either. But
Yeah. I know. I'm like, this is like the pet rock of this generation.
right. It's gonna go away. Wait, do you know this person I put in the private chat?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Personally, I know this person.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, this person is gonna be at LA Comic-Con. And
Oh, great.
but quote tweeted me and then made it lost in the comments.
This person likes to sell themselves as a complete savage online. Let's see if they can say this to our face. I'll be right there. I'd love to have a very, very adult discussion about it.
I love talking about nerd stuff. I mean, to me, I miss the days where I was at the
This
comic book store
person-
every week. Yeah. Yeah, Gary?
Can I say it?
No. But let's keep it.
No, I'll put it in the private chat.
Okay, please. Okay, but like, I've known her for years, and look, you know me, Gary. We've hung out at cons together. Okay, that's crazy. All right. We hung out at cons together. I like everybody. I'll talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I love to I don't care if we disagree on shit. I love talking nerd stuff. Like, convince me. And this person, no debate, just said, I'm not defending JFC. I'm not defending you.
What's
Chris.
this?
What?
We have a
I don't
guest.
know. What?
Do you want to come on?
Wait,
Get in here,
somebody's here.
buddy.
Somebody's
Quarter
here.
Black's
Oh, I
backstage.
put it in the private.
All right.
Huh?
Oh, he wanted to see who it is.
Oh no, that's it. I don't think Garrett knows who this person is.
You know what? I have to give the audience something. All right, so we can't say the
I
person's
just want to
name.
know. I just want to know who it is.
Look at the private chat. We cannot say who it is. I might say it later, but I can say this.
Yeah.
This person begged to work in my comic shop.
Wow. And it's in a circle of nerd friends where I don't like, you can like what you like, you can dislike what you like. We're friends. This is what is, I don't know. It's just, I think it's maybe a generational different attitude or something. Like, I've never cared about.
Sorry, that's not entirely true. Somebody begged for them.
Oh, I know who the person you're thinking about is.
Mm-hmm.
A male person.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna slink back
Oh, I
in the
know
back.
who it is.
Bye.
I know exactly. who it is.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care, Garrett. Oh,
Take
damn.
care, Garrett. He's got a week off.
He's probably working on your stuff.
No, he's working. Well, not he like busted ass the last. He did the last 2 videos, which are doing pretty well, by the way. Thank you very much. So yeah, Perry's back. Perry went on. He wanted to taco about tacos to every Mexican he could. So he did that.
Yeah.
And now he's back, and he's going to work on the Doctor Who video.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, unless it's just a wet fart, well, I'll still do a video on it. I'll still do a video on it. We'll see. But yeah, Chris, it's they were never your friend. All right.
Yeah.
my friends say some crazy shit once in a while. I don't know if I disagree with them that much, though. I really kind of don't. But if they did, I wouldn't care. I don't care. Like, okay, a great example. Shad goes off on AI, right? Like he goes off on AI, and occasionally I'll hear from somebody going about Shad on AI, and I'm like, I don't care what Shad thinks about AI. I love Shad. I don't care. I mean, I don't have. I really have my only opinion on AI is it's fucking here. There's not much we can do about it. Is it art? That's up for you to debate. I Shad's argument where he had the paint can on it, where the artist had a paint can on a fucking wire, and he just and it made around a pattern. That's not art. Sorry, that to me that's not art. But you know, otherwise, I don't care. I don't care. Shad can have his opinions on stuff. Ryan can have his opinions on stuff. Jeremy can have his opinions on stuff. I don't tell people what to say. I don't tell them what to do, despite what some people say. I don't care. You know, it's their opinion, and they're still my friend. Robert Meyer Burnett. I doubt he agrees with 80% of what I say. But
right.
Always really cool to me and nice to me and willing to talk. And that's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you, dude.
No, it's just it's weird to see. And she wasn't the only one. And I used to just sort of mute people. Now, fuck them. I'm block. That's what I'm using the block button. Thank you, Elon. I'm using the block button. And I'm tired of dealing with low IQ people who cannot debate or defend your position. I would love to hear an argument saying, I disagree. I saw the film. I thought it was very good. XYZ, whatever. But I think when you look at the history of film, this is all provably false.
There's people I respect who went out and said, I hate the killer. I still respect them. They're still cool. They're still really good critics and good people. And I like their opinions. We just disagree on but okay. So this is a good question. This is actually a good question from DM. That's why I wanted to highlight it. Gary, do you ever get burnt out from talking about this stuff? Surprisingly enough, no. No, the answer is no. I've been talking about this stuff for like this. If we go back to my store days, for 2 decades.
Dude, there was a Laserdisc store I used to go to in Pasadena in the 90s where I would just argue with the clerk. We ended up becoming like really good friends.
Well, yeah, if we want to go back to my warehouse days, almost 30 years. 30 years talking to people like this. Like it was one-on-one or on a stream or whatever. Yeah, dude. And you've been doing it way longer than me.
Well, in the 80s, I used to go to a comic book store called Dave's Comics in Royal Oak, Michigan. If there's anybody from Michigan knows Dave's Comics, it was Dave Huxley. Shout out to him. Anybody that knew him, he was an old biker, used to be in a biker gang, but also was a comic nerd. And we're just like, I'm going to start a comic store. And he was a badass. He would just tell us great stories. We'd go in the store and be there for like 3-4 hours, just talking shit, talking about comics. I remember the big debate was like Michael Keaton being cast as Batman. That's lame. Michael Keaton. And then I went and saw that movie Clean and Sober. This is like back in the days before the internet, right? You just talk to people face to face.
Clean and Sober is a good movie, by the way.
Clean and Sober, very good movie, really good movie. And I was like,
rehabs.
oh, he could be really good as this. And then the thing that convinced everybody, do you remember it was an issue of either Time Magazine or Newsweek that had the first official photo of Keaton as Batman? And everyone was like, oh, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. And that was it. Nobody was debating about it anymore. Like that was it.
And there was also, comedians, comedians have a long history of going dramatic at some point because they quite frankly are when you go on stage and you do stand up, you are doing your one-man show every night. Yeah. Stand-up comedy is the hardest thing to do. Comedy is the hardest thing to do. So it gives you the most range. Plus, you get the most rejection. You bomb right in front of people. You have terrible nights, and yeah, most comedians are completely neurotic, but that kind of makes them good actors. There's a neurosis that goes with good acting. That's why it's like, hey, go ahead and act. Just don't tell us your opinion on anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Now, okay. So Dave Baloney has gotten another promotion. He can't tell people what to do. We discussed it in length already on the real BBC. And Ryan, again, I after the stream on RK Outpost Live, Ryan did a really good live stream last night. I don't know if you caught it, Chris. But here's the bottom line. It was PR. That's all it was. Disney needs a win in any way. It has been so negative for Marvel and Disney Star Wars. And after Ahsoka, there was the rage. And then, and by the way, the rage is from an ever shrinking fandom. What they have mostly experienced, and this is why they did this, and this is why they are genuinely crapping their pants right now, is apathy has set in. Nobody gives a fuck. This Dave Filoni thing will be a fart in the wind. Nobody cares, but they need some kind of positive energy because they know what they have coming up. Skeleton Crew, which might be, I mean, like the best it could be is inoffensively, there. It's just a thing that exists. It's from the director of Spider-Man No Way Home. But then there's the Acolyte, dude, which is going to be the Marvels of Disney Star Wars. It is going to be the most cringe, agenda-filled garbage you could possibly think of, from former personal Harvey Weinstein assistant Judas Cow, and I mean that in the most cow sense of the word, Leslie Headland. So they know they're in trouble. They know they're in massive trouble. So they're going to run out with that Vanity Fair article, Chris, was a press release. It was a copy and pasted press release. And we spent an hour going over it, and I could not believe the stuff they were saying, and they're trying to link things to George that are just absolutely ridiculous. And Dave Filoni, like, Star Wars has no male energy, none, zero. If Dave Filoni is like your representation of a man, then you're screwed. And yes, it's a boys brand that girls liked, that women liked.
Yeah,
a lot of women, but it was a boys brand. That's it. And the women who liked it didn't have a problem with it, and still don't have a problem with it, right? We can like different bands. You know what? There's some boys who like Barbie. Okay, I don't care if they like Barbie. I could give a shit. Like Barbie all you want. I don't like Barbie. I played with one once, and it was my GI Joe destroying my sister's Barbie, and my sister beat the shit out of me for it. So she was older and bigger, but
can do things.
Yeah, she didn't like that very much. I think I was like 5. Right? So, got an ass whooping because she was like 10. So and that's the way it goes. But they need to return to boy brands, and the only way they can do that now, Chris, is by putting it in the vault for a decade minimum. Not 4 years, not 5 years, 10 years. You just need to, roll out, just sell Empire Strikes Back toys and Return of the Jedi toys, and just do that. I recommended that for when they got when what was it, Embracer? Who got the rights to Amazon? All you need to do with Lord of the Rings is just make Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings toys, put some different covers on the books, and just release them. And maybe license a graphic novel for Lord of the Rings. That's never happened.
Ooh, that would be cool.
One for one, have Chuck Dixon write it. And like he did with The Hobbit, do something like that. Just sell toys from the stuff that's sold before, and you'll make a bunch of money. You won't piss anybody off, and it'll be safe, and it'll be fine. But no, they want to come out with the Rings of Power.
Waste of money.
Which I am all for now at this point. I still don't think it's going to make 5 years. But this Disney Star Wars is still dead. Like, nothing's changed. It is the long waning. It's Dave Filoni has his fans, what, 3 million people, 2 million people, if we want real numbers. And then of that percentage, how many of them will actually go out and buy Dave Filoni stuff? Meaning, how many of them will buy movie tickets? How many of them will buy books? Drug 3PO talked about on Geeks and Gamers Daily today. Wave 3 of the High Republic has come out, and they sell books in the 2000s. Star Wars books in the 2000s. Eric July has sold 5 times that many books, right? He sold 10,000 books.
Oh, God.
There was 10,000 customers. I can't remember, but he sold more. Eric July on his own has sold more books than some books from Star Wars, the High Republic.
And I predict, Gary, I know you've mentioned this, so I can bring it up. You have an upcoming book project.
Yes.
Details have not yet been released, because I'm sure they're still being worked out, but you will sell more than the High Republic book. You will sell more copies of your book than that. Easily. This is where the interest in Star Wars is now. And there was this era where it went away kind of in the 80s, the early 90s, but there were still the people that kept it going were fans. Fans are the ones that keep these franchises alive. This is something that corporate culture hasn't figured out how to yeah, there you go. Yeah, Todd Tyler, who's a member, 10,000 customers, 17,000 books.
Jeez.
There you go. Weird. But I mean, you could you could Google this, look up articles, how to become a bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list. You basically buy your way in. Politicians do this, and some celebrities do this regularly, where they purchase books for giveaway. It still counts as a purchase, right? Like it counts as a purchase. And if that's X number of books purchased at X time, you can be on the New York Times bestseller list. So Gary, you could be a New York Times bestselling author. I mean, you could. I mean, you absolutely could. Absolutely, you could be on that list. We should talk about it when your book is about to come out.
Well, I've got a couple things to handle
right
beforehand, but I think we're close to announcing, because I want the chat to choose the title. I've been workshopping a title. I thought I caught a couple of titles, and the people I'm working with were like, but I'm gonna leave it to the chat. So we're gonna do a special. I'm gonna announce it on Friday Night Tights. I'm gonna tell you what the book's about, and then I'm gonna tell you what live stream we're gonna have the chat. We'll X-Ray Girl will figure out something.
I'm just excited about the cover, and God, it would be great. Like, I brought this up a couple times. I would love to see Eric July open up his platform for other creators, because a lot of people, I mean, I'm one of those people. I could not build what Eric July did, but if he opened up the platform, and it could be, he'd have to curate it. It would have to be something
he'd have to vet like that.
Right.
I think like in a few, I mean, it's up to him. He may be ready to do it in 6 months, but he'd have to vet the story, the person, right. You can't, as much as you want a bro deal stuff, you can't, like, so when that much money is on the line, you gotta, protect yourself and your employees as much as possible. But I think eventually, like, his website and the way he sells books he could license it out, I guess,
it could even be powered. It could be like powered by Ripaverse, and it would be something he could spin off like a different, like a curated creators.
Sure.
And it could be film projects, it could be book projects, it could be comic books, but everything vetted. That's probably like someone's full-time job at the company, but it could be profitable when you look at the amount of revenue. I mean, I know the platforms Indiegogo and I don't like Indiegogo. I think I'm not a fan of it. I have used Kickstarter begrudgingly, but because there's nothing else out there that's really viable, because Kickstarter has all the customers, they've got that base. So I have used Kickstarter successfully twice, unsuccessfully more than twice.
Yeah, so, and Indiegogo is like shadow batting people now, for sure.
Yes.
And they're a San Francisco-based company, so you shouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to Star Wars real quick.
Yeah, please.
And I'm not going to go over that article again, because Dave Filoni, it might have been a good decision. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. 4 years ago, you do this 4 years ago, right when The Mandalorian comes out, and I think at the time the Star Wars fandom was bigger, and I think the vast majority would be fine with it. But as Ryan correctly pointed out, he's been previously promoted, and the promotion happened a year before they announced it. All right, so this promotion probably happened a long time ago. So the stuff he has been presiding over as chief creative officer has already come out, which includes Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, Mandalorian season 3, and Ahsoka. So is that your savior? No. As Ryan pointed out correctly in this stream, has Star Wars gotten better? No, it's gotten worse.
Nope.
It's gotten deader. So, Star Wars is not a niche brand. Star Trek, niche brand. Absolutely niche brand. Comic books, niche. Star Wars is not niche. Star Wars is mass appeal. Star Wars is Coke. Star Wars is Pepsi. It's supposed to appeal to the most people. And now you're just turning it to a niche brand, which certainly could work, but it's not going to be the revenue stream Disney expects. Disney bought Star Wars to surpass what George did, to make more money. But as we're seeing with the undeniable and unbelievable, but yet believable destruction of the MCU, well, simultaneously with Star Wars, that's the story, is both of these brands were purchased by Bob Iger and failed simultaneously over the same amount of time. One was a couple years behind, but now Marvel has surpassed Star Wars in their failure because they were a functioning franchise, the biggest franchise ever. They got 32 movies at the time. There was what movie was Endgame? What number? 25, 24? Can't remember.
Yeah.
It was a functioning franchise that everybody likes, that I loved. I absolutely loved it. That was started by Paramount. So, we're right back to what I said at the end of my Rise of Skywalker review. I'm trying to go back. I said, Disney didn't start Marvel or Star Wars, but they're certainly going to finish them. And that's what they did. That's what they did. And it's sad. It didn't need to be this way, but it's the foundation of this failure. What Chris brought up, one of them, there's a lot of reasons: oversaturation, incompetence, out of touch executives. We can get into corporatism, Chris. Corporatism is but the main, the foundation of sand, that is their failure, is their adherence to the message. Their adherence to the message, which was the motivation to turn these boy brands into girl brands. What was the motivation? The message, not good storytelling. You could have told all kinds of, even within Star Wars, Star Wars is science fiction fantasy, but you can do kind of Western stuff. You can do samurai stuff. You can do all kinds of fun. No, they just did girl stuff. So same with comic books. Comic books are a medium that have multiple genres. You can have horror. You can have noir. You can have action adventure. You can do science fiction. You can do it all. You can even, if you want, you can do a small little drama if you want. If it's all working, that stuff will work, but it's not working because the stories suck, because they didn't hire people of talent. They cast people instead of hiring them, which is ultimately a disservice to the people they cast. And it is the bigotry of low expectations. So we are seeing the result of this. So this is why everybody's celebrating. They're celebrating the pushing of the bigotry of low expectations failing, intersectional feminism failing, CRT in fucking film failing, separating and dividing fandoms failing. All of this is a victory for the fans, but we had to lose a lot, and as a bunch of us said, we're nerds. We're always going to be nerds. So when this stuff is in ashes, we'll still be here. We'll still be here. And we'll just have to like the old shit now. And Doctor Who had a chance to turn things around, and they blew it before they even aired the fucking special. It's pretty incredible. Not holding out high hopes, because for in Doctor Who's case, the ratings in the UK don't matter. I mean, they'll be better with Tenet. They'll absolutely be better. Remember, there's a Tenet episode out there that was watched by 18 million people live overnight in a country of 66 million people.
That's crazy.
The population watched Doctor Who. That's fucking insane. And they've shit on that. But they need this to be a worldwide phenomenon. And I'm sorry, Shuri Gatwa is not going to be the worldwide phenomenon. They want this to be an MCU. They're already announcing the Whoniverse, and that should be your kiss of death right there. So when somebody was complaining to Russell T Davies online, they're like, hey, you don't act like this. Please don't act like this. His response was tough. I have the same response when the Whoniverse goes down the same road as the Dark Universe. Tough. You had your chance. You fucked it up. It's all on you. You can't spell retard without RTD.
Gary, not like you need any advice on videos, but a video that I would like to see is, when did this contentious relationship between corporations, creators, and fans, when did it go south? When, and also, how is this a mistake? You want to talk, there should be some sort of media training And I'm not sure if you saw the Iman Vellani, like her response. I think you
Oh,
were
yeah.
on Real BBC. I think you guys talked about
Absolute
it. Like,
masterclass in how you respond.
she's such
What a smart
a
kid.
like, you know what? I will support her. I don't know about
Yes.
her as the character, but I'll always support her. Like, I think she is a class act. She's schooling someone, and on the very opposite end of the spectrum is this entitled Rachel Zegler, you know? And Rachel Zegler she hasn't been in anything that's been a financial success. If anything, she's been associated with things that have been huge failures. That West Side Story movie, I forgot that she was in the Shazam film. This Hunger Games movie is going to fade away pretty quickly.
If it hasn't already.
Yeah, if it hasn't already. And it's pretty meh. I've seen it. Not worth writing home about. And she's not even the lead character in it. But yeah, like, what is she? This Snow White movie is going to come out, and what? But the relationship between where it's an almost antagonistic relationship with fans. When and why did this happen? And how is this allowed to continue? I'll say this, like, how is this allowed to continue? If you're the head of Disney, shut the F up, make cartoons for kids, make family entertainment for families. And let's get back to saying ladies and gentlemen when we're at the parks. It's just so obvious to me.
Sorry, Chris. I'll look into it, but my initial feeling is prior to Gamergate. Remember when it's like 2015 when this PC stuff started kicking up, and we had students yelling at professors at Yale. That professor got fired, and we started to see that's when it started, because what happened is these kids and these activists found power in, I'm just going to accuse them of being racist, and everybody's going to be so taken aback. Oh, I'm not racist. They'll be willing to do anything to prove that they're not racist, and even though they're not.
Right.
We saw the cowardly corporations follow suit. It's risk aversion. Okay. Mm-hmm. It is risk averse. They would rather piss off a conservative than be called racist. So yeah, it goes back to 2012. I mean, it's a really good question. It probably goes, well, you know what? Actually, it goes back to the Clinton administration. The PC shit started then. But the corporatism also started largely with both Bushes and the Clinton deregulating a lot of stuff. And also with the radio station. You know, it was funny. It was, and not all of it's bad. I hate regulation, so fuck it. But they also allowed in a lot of corporate, it opened the door for a lot of corporate cronyism. So, you know, you take the good with the bad, but Clinton created Rush Limbaugh. Like, Clinton created him because Clear Channel was able to buy more than one station in, and like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he just created them because they're, you know, so that lessened the control. Then the internet happened, of course. But with the corporatism in Hollywood is when basically when big tech started coming in, and that was in 2010, 2011 when I was working at Technicolor, and they were talking about set-top boxes, which is the precursor to streaming. So they were talking about it back in 2010. I know Disney Plus was being worked on as far back as 2013, and they were talking about this, and that's when it started moving into content. But corporations going after fans and it being okay, there's one answer for that. You know, it was creeping in, but what made it okay, Chris? Is that what you're wondering?
Yeah. What, like, when did this start? Where, because look, if I'm
Donald
Catholic,
Trump, dude, it was Donald Trump.
You think,
it was
okay.
Yes. Yeah. That's your answer.
Where it's like, okay to have, like, I don't know. You're making Star Wars, which is for everyone. Yes, it is for everyone. And it seems that there's a certain, like, they don't want the fact that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has checked out and has to be forced for work to watch Star Wars, to discuss it. He's out. He is the biggest. He still wears that Star Wars hat. And the fact that he's out, you lost him, a lifelong customer. Look, and you know this, Gary, as someone who some people in your audience know used to own a comic book shop. And you're if you piss off okay, you might lose a sale, You've lost a customer for life. That represents so much money. A lifelong customer of a thing represents, like, I don't know how much I've spent on Star Wars from the past. Not since Force Awakens. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just they've lost so many people. It's kind of crazy.
It is, and it was part of the fortification. It was companies literally. For one, these companies are all in competition with each other. They should be at each other's throats. And if they're failing with Star Wars, let's try to do something different with Star Trek. But instead, Star Trek is doing the same thing that Star Wars is doing. That's doing the same thing that Doctor Who's doing. That's doing the same thing that Marvel Comics is doing. That's doing the same thing as DC Comics is doing. That's doing the same thing as the MCU is doing. And let's do the same thing with the Rings of Power. And let's start doing the same thing towards the end of Game of Thrones. It's all the same fucking message. It's the same fucking message throughout all of it. They should be in competition. There should be somebody going, you know what? I'm just not going to put the message in. And you would simply do better by not having it. And they wouldn't do it. And it was part of the fortification to, I think it's one guy with some puppet strings, in the beginning. No, I think it was just a bunch of like-minded people who truly thought that Donald Trump, the orange man, was going to end society and the world. And when it didn't happen, there was a little bit of a problem. And now they're recovering. This has been one long, massive hangover after a TDS party. And people are, and then of course there was COVID too. And they rooted on, people losing their jobs. They rooted on our country being burned down, they being the entertainment industry as a whole, pretty much. And a lot of people started waking up going, wait a minute, aren't these guys supposed to be making me laugh and drawing cartoons?
Right.
Why are they fucking telling me how to live? And why are they rooting on from the comfort of their own mansions?
Right.
The city burning. Fuck you. Why are they telling me I can't go to work while they were allowed to go to work to pretend, and telling me to order Uber Eats that I can't afford because I don't have a fucking job? Go fuck yourself. And now they are facing the consequences of that. You don't alienate half the country, half your audience, and not face consequences. Ticket sales are down in Hollywood. Ticket sales are way down. The only reason we're getting billion-dollar movies is because your average ticket cost is $14 to $15, not IMAX. It's $20 for IMAX and sometimes more. If you take two people, you're spending $60. Dude, 10 years ago, when I was taking my family, I was spending $50 to $60, $70 to park in that shithole San Francisco and to go to the downtown theater that overcharges me for everything. And you know what? People like, the stuff isn't good enough to go to anymore. When they occasionally give you something like a Oppenheimer, something cinematic, people go. Yeah. People fucking go. But you just haven't been doing that. So you can't blame COVID. You can't blame anything else. The one thing they won't blame, the one thing they will never bring up is people are sick of woke Hollywood. People are sick of woke Hollywood. Yeah. And woke Hollywood got exposed because of their irrational fear of a guy they used to love, Donald Trump. It was fucking crazy. It's nuts. And now, they're still out there. It's like, dude, like, I don't care if you like the guy or not. He's a former TV host and a billionaire real estate guy who really digs himself. So what? Who cares? I don't give a shit. That's everybody in fucking Hollywood. They really dig themselves. Do you think Donald Trump is any more narcissistic than Mark Ruffalo? No. Okay. No, it's fucking ridiculous.
Or Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, exactly.
They're just like any politician.
They love Danny Gavin over there, even though he damn near crushed fucking Disney. He crushed industry, crushed small business all throughout California. People are leaving in droves. One of the best fucking Babylon Bee headlines I'd ever seen is U-Haul's building a high-speed train from California to Texas. They could. They actually could. It would make money. Jesus.
Yeah, I keep looking at places outside of California. I keep looking at places.
Texas. Come on, Chris.
Texas, just don't move to Austin.
Go to Texas.
I really will. I want to live somewhere walkable, somewhere with a change of seasons, not crazy winter like Wisconsin, but a change of seasons if possible. But I'm looking at houses like, I can afford a house. I can afford a house anywhere but
California,
where I'm living.
Yeah,
I can't afford where I'm living.
You cash out. Once you cash out of California, you can't really go back. But so what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
So
Texas is terrible. California, not for anybody in the chat, but any like rando out there who like loves Gavin Newsom. Texas is terrible. It's filled with people who go to church on Sunday. It's filled with people with concealed carry guns. It's filled with Republicans. Weed is illegal for now. And you'd hate it here. You absolutely hate it here.
Sounds so horrible. Tell me more.
Sounds terrible. Terrible. House prices are going up because all the fucking Californians.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Those bastards. I have exercised my Californian, so I still say dude, and I like the Padres, but yeah, I'm not down. Hey, let's read some soups, shall we? We had 10,000 people. You guys are nuts.
Wow.
This is a record. We had a record FNT. We had a record Real BBC. This is a record Nooner.
Wow.
This is record week. Oh my God.
It's the season of winning, ladies and gentlemen. Our Christmas came early, and now we can you roll right into Thanksgiving. You don't even have to argue with your stupid woke nephew. You can just go, get woke, go broke, kid. Pass me the fucking gravy. That's all you do. You'll learn. Once you start paying taxes, you'll be on my side, kiddo. If you survive that long. Go watch Tim Pool. No, I'm just kidding. Go watch DJ Cobra. I'm a dude bro Texan. Kinda. I mean, I don't know. I'm more of a nerd. But yes, wins all around. Congratulate yourselves. You deserve it. You've been through so much shit as fans. Even the lolcows are saying the chuds were right. Yep.
It's probably I don't think it's too early to talk about what is the fallout going to be from the Marvels, like the failure of the Marvels. This movie does not make 100 million domestic US box office. That is beyond failure. And you can't say it's been a trend, but this is that's beyond. So what then is the fallout? I've heard rumors, and then like from channels that I don't think are very credible, saying like Brie Larson's out. She's just like, why am I continuing this? It's humiliating. And the fact that they cut that scene, who knows if it was a reaction to the Panderverse episode, the scene with Tessa Thompson.
I completely believe that scene was in there. I totally believe that scene was in there. And I could believe that the Panderverse, I think they just cut it out because I talked to somebody at Comic-Con last year. I told you this, Chris, right after it happened. I'm like, they know it's bad. They know it's bad. Yeah. There's like nothing they can do. I think there is a desire from there's some people who work at Disney Marvel who just want to make fucking Marvel shit, who are genuine comic book fans. But the decisions being made are way above their pay grade, and those people haven't changed. They're still the same. I mean, a bunch of people are gone, and you know what they've been replaced with? Worse. Alan Horn kept fucking Kevin Feige in check. Okay, he's gone. And now you have other people in there, and they're more woke. That's why when people are like saying, "Hey, Apple's going to buy Star Wars," dude, it would be 1,000 times worse. It really would be worse. Woke fucking corporation. Yeah. Okay, so that wouldn't change, and they have more money than God, and they could they wouldn't care. Like Disney's losing money, and it is starting to hurt them. It is like I think a lot of people thought that, like, after DeSantis and stuff, this would happen overnight. But as I said yesterday, this takes years. It took years to build. It took years to build up, and for the woke to infiltrate every facet, every institution of our lives, because we were busy working. I'm not even going to say lazy. The politicians were fucking lazy. They're two-faced, and they're pieces of shit, and they're uniparty. But people were most people are very busy with their own fucking lives, working, making the world go around, working on your car, building your house, building a bridge, taking your phone call at the insurance company. They're fucking busy. They don't have time to hyper focus on all this media literacy shit, but now they have to. And that's good, because I think if we're going to take anything positive out of COVID, it woke a lot of fucking people up. The real woke. It woke a lot of people up going, wait a minute. If they're lying to us here, They're probably lying to us over here and over here. And they have been. They being the system, the SISM, state, big Hollywood, the media entertainment complex. They're all connected. Who owns MSNBC? Universal. Somehow they managed on the Park side to stay out of politics, and they have the worst fucking news network on the planet. I think saying Fox is great because they're not, but they're all part of conglomerates now, and they want to be the ones to give us the information. We're trying to take that back. We're trying to take the truth. I can't say back. We're trying to bring the truth back. I can't say take the truth back because they were never telling it.
That's also what's alarming is just like Neo waking up out of the Matrix, out of like after being plugged in, what you can't unsee things. You've heard that theory that there's sort of this face of what the internet is that we see, that we don't see everything. So when you're using things like Google's, you're getting like a view of what things are, but it's heavily curated. So real quick, Gary, too. Do you even know that Brie Larson was in an Apple TV Plus series called Lessons in Chemistry? Alan watched like the first episode. I was feminist,
a girl, science girl back in the 50s, kind of a Mad Men, but we're just gonna like it's like, I don't even want to say it's feminist porn. It's like male feminist porn.
Right. She's so much smarter than everyone, but she's
everybody and all the guys are just slapping her ass because they get in the kitchen, little lady. It's like everybody's Ryan Kinnell in the 50s, you know. Right. Everybody was Ryan Kinnell, just half. But hey, what was that? You got to show that video. So we had the cat, the Meowvilles yesterday.
Oh yes.
Which, quite frankly, much better than the movie. Much better than the movie.
I wish they actually made that a movie.
There's another one because some marketing genius is all, you know what's going to get people to our massive catastrophic flop that's undeniable, that's going to cost the company, I'm never going to financially recover from this, is Cats. They should have just released this in the theater.
Oh my God. Okay, so I think this is a promo for an app or something, or some like I actually don't even know what it is. I'm looking at this, but somebody's going to be able to look it up who isn't me, probably X-Ray Girl. But you're going to show this video?
You want to show this trailer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no! Oh no! This is
no. That's not the one. It's the new one.
There's a new one. Oh,
there's a new one. Hang on, I'll get it.
But I mean, what as did a video about this. I haven't watched it yet. I
haven't watched it yet either. I'll watch it.
I'm dying though. It's in my history. That's how I watch later. Do you want me to send it to you?
Maybe.
No, I got it.
Okay,
uh-huh.
cool.
I got it. Hang on. Oh, doesn't look like Jeremy John's like Wish. I'm looking at his.
Oh no one has liked it that I know.
That's his thumbnail. Yes, I subscribe to Jeremy Johns. Of all the, I think he's of all the older critics, I think he's the most genuine.
Yeah, I subscribe to Jeremy Johns. Have for years, met him in person. Super nice guy.
Seemed like
I even watch I watch Campea and I watch Grace Randolph. And why do I do that? Because I want to know. I want to know what a normal person thinks, not someone who knows everything, but just a normie. And that's a normie.
Campea is a normie. So it's the infinity pause.
Oh no!
Infinity pause.
Okay, that's why I couldn't find it.
39 seconds.
Can you hear me? Can you hear it? Are you guys getting sound? Okay. It's 39 seconds. Hang on, sorry. That's longer, and that's 1 second longer than an ass wink.
The time is upon us. Prepare thyselves for battle most fierce and awesome. This spring, the biggest heroes of the Marvel Universe assemble for the crossover of the century. Marvel Comics presents Infinity Pause.
Oh, okay, it's a comic thing.
It's a comic.
Yeah, Infinity Comics. Isn't what he said? The comic. It's the crossover of the century.
Is it digital only, or
Marvel Unlimited's probably digital.
Marvel Unlimited is digital, which, by the way, is just dying right now. Comixology ended, and Kindle is shit for reading comic books. It's absolute shit. So, comics are saved, everybody.
This is
Get
what
excited.
This is what this is where we are right now.
Look at Jeremy right there. He's like, I'm not so sure about this movie. See, that's a good thumbnail. When you had Stuckman, he's always like, it looks like he's about to, like, he's getting blown by a hooker. He's like,
right.
He's like mid finishing. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. That's Marvel saved everybody. Hey, they know their audience. All those 40-year-old childless wine cat moms are going to go to Marvel and sign up for Marvel Unlimited. Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
my God. It's just
I
that and the
cats,
Meowgles.
but I know.
Freaking Mark Millar is out there going, I want to save Marvel and DC. And he said it publicly now, but he told us. He's like, I'm going to go. I have meetings. I'm going to go talk to him. I'm not going to say who. And he's got pitches that make fucking sense. It's really basic, by the way. It's, hey, let's run with the characters that people like, and let's put creators who are really good on them. Fucking racist. And he doesn't need to do it. He's doing just fine. Of the mainstream comic book industry, he's what's left. And his stuff is genuinely good. The big game stuff is fucking awesome. Go buy it. Yeah, it's so fucking good. Then you have Eric, who's not in the mainstream comic book industry, kicking everybody's ass because people like him. People like the books. People are invested in the characters. There you go. And yes, I have actually read Ice of number 1 and 2.
There you go.
And I can't say all my comics because I have variants, and I didn't read the variants because I already read them in another comic book. But I've read most of my comic books, the vast majority of my comic books. I am so old, I can say to some of these little punks on Twitter, I can go, listen, kid, I've forgotten more comics than you have ever read. And that would be true.
That's true. But man, some comics that I read when I was a kid are just burned in my memory because I remember how I felt when I read them.
Holy shit.
How huge, like some of those, and you'll never get that experience back, like of reading.
When Spider-Man beat the fucking Juggernaut, dude, I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. Yeah, when Elektra got fucking shanked by with her own sigh by Bullseye,
Damn.
I was like, what the fuck? Because I was used to covers lying to me. Covers used to lie to you back in the 70s. They're like, Spider-Man is a dead. He's a goner. And that scene never happened but the comic.
Right.
But the covers were still great. They were dynamic. No, this one, this was it. And I was like, oh, she died. Sorry, spoilers. And then Daredevil goes after Bull. Oh, fucks him up. So good. Frank Miller Daredevil run.
Oh, that run. Oh,
both of them. He did 2. He did one where he drew the majority of it with Klaus Janson. And then he did another one with David Mazzucchelli, who is just a fucking goat artist. So good. He did Batman Year 1 too. Born Again. Good stuff. Let's read some soups. Again, thank you all. Thank you all for being here, supporting.
Hell yeah.
What's so funny?
I was just reading this this one that just came in, so I can highlight it if you
Read
want.
What is it?
So, Blackguard 4 for $20 says the MC Uterus has delivered its latest stillborn product with the Marvels. I can't wait to see its third weekend results. I shouldn't laugh, but that would just be
Good. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's
right.
It's going to be like number 7 at the box office in its third weekend. Could it get to number 10? $1 million on Monday in its third week of release.
It's bad.
You know what? Dune is probably fucking kicking themselves. Dune 2 would have done great.
And by the way, Dune 2, Dune Part 2 has been moved up to March 1st.
2 weeks. Nerd Cookies.
Yeah.
We said Dune 2, so I just want to just shout out to Nerd Cookies, huge Dune fan.
Yeah.
I hope, because she was devastated when it got delayed. So 2 weeks sooner, Nerd Cookies, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. I can't wait to see it.
I cannot wait.
You know what I'm going to see opening? Oh, I think we'll be there. Hang on. Let me check my dates.
Oh, Godzilla -1. Oh,
When's that?
No, Silent Night, dude.
Oh, Silent Night. Actually, Gary, I might have a screener of that one.
Oh, I want to go see it at theater. My kid.
Well, same here. But I have because of the kind of year, because we're in award season, I get a lot of movies as screeners, and I just got it.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait to see it. So when is Godzilla -1 coming out?
Godzilla -1 is actually going to be opening when you get here. I've talked to a couple of people who've seen it. It's supposed to be incredible. It is it's like what a Godzilla movie does really well is when you actually care about the human characters. So there's that story. And it's also, someone described it as Godzilla is actually scary. This isn't nice Godzilla. He's a force of nature that is murdering thousands and thousands of people. Like
a real monster.
Just like a real monster. Like you are scared in the sense of like Jaws, right? Like also it's the sound apparently is amazing.
Oh, it opens on the 1st, the same weekend as Silent Night. So we got 2 good movies coming out the same weekend.
We could see those movies. Well, we could see it maybe Thursday we could go.
Double feature?
How about Thursday? Yeah, we could go to the AMC Burbank.
I'll be there by Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll go. We'll go.
Yay. This Thursday is going to be one of the best days. I can see it already.
Yes. Well, we'll talk offline and figure out a plan.
Yeah,
there are people who have asked, is there, because you're in town and because X-Ray Girl is in town, that doesn't happen very often. People have asked me, is there going to be a meetup? So I think probably really late to plan, but there could be one that we could I'm just suggesting, maybe this is an offline conversation, suggesting maybe we put on the social media, hey, we're going to a certain place at a certain time. It's unofficial. We're going to hang out there. Come say hi.
That's all we could do. Yeah.
So
I have
our social media.
I can't, there's no way I could get a place in LA.
You can't plan it with this little time. But
I would say go to the con, because like I'll be doing the panels, but I'll also be walking around the con shopping. So
Gary's shopping is like he's zoned in so hard.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've seen you shopping before.
It's intense.
It's you are the Indiana Jones.
Very seriously.
Yeah, you're like Indiana Jones trying to get the idol.
I'm going to
the idol.
Store. I'm going to the toy store after the stream, the one that's near me, because it's
for Black
amazing.
Friday. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
My God.
So I guess if you follow
in there, what's up, Ing?
Ing the Merciless. For 5.
Kara's gonna be. Is she coming too?
Yes.
Yeah, Kara's going.
Kara and I are sleeping together in bed.
Whoa.
What is this?
Wait. I got some music for that. I really do.
I had a nice weekend with Lady G, and in LA it's gonna be Kara.
Oh
yeah,
no,
there's something going on, and yeah, the truck really.
And by the way, I went to Costco in anticipation of your arrival. Oh, the Kirkland brand White Claws are amazing. Oh yeah, I got 3 cases, and I'm not even joking.
My favorite store, Costco. It's on a sale, sort of. No, because it's big brand, big box store, and White Claws.
Dan Bass can sing his Christmas song. I got Kara and X-Ray Girl snuggling live stream.
There may be a members video. Kara and I in bed. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Sorry, Dan.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna. I just had to throw that up as a palate cleanser.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Danica's going to be at the Comic-Con too, right?
Yes.
Danica Danica is in Japan now working on her Akira movie.
Wow.
And
That's
she will be,
fucking awesome.
she'll literally be, I think she arrives back on that Thursday. She's going to be a little wonky, but she'll be there Saturday.
Okay. Is Quarter Black coming with us, X-Ray Girl? I know I'm doing
I
this
don't think
publicly,
so.
but I thought he was coming.
Oh.
All right. Well,
so he
Yes,
is.
if he wants. But Mrs. Nerdrotic will be there.
Yeah.
Polly Latino Slant will be there. Dante
Anna
will be there.
Anna the
Ing
Star
the
Wars
Merciless
girl.
will be there.
Ing the Merciless.
Ing the Merciless. Who knows who else?
Yeah. There might be some other surprise people they're going to pop on.
What's
I
up,
don't wanna-
Snow Dub? What's up, brother?
That Star Wars girl, I think,
Yes.
will be there.
Oh, Anna's going to be. That's right.
Anna's
Anna's
gonna
going
be
to be
there.
there.
She'll be on one of the panels or two.
Anna's going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, what's so funny, I'm looking at like the panel and like who's on it. I'm like, this is probably the most diverse panel at LA Comic-Con. I went looking at it, I'm like, oh wow. I was just, but it was like completely unintentional. It's just like, guys, people that I like who I know are very passionate about the topics that we'll be discussing. But it's like a very diverse panel.
Inadvertently, and I love that for
Yeah.
the people
Yeah,
are like,
where's
you're
my
all white
DEI
people.
money? Shit.
Right.
I'm more diverse than the fucking locals who call me out. Mark
Right.
Company.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
well. Oh well.
Hi, Terry. I
Probably
see
because
you
they're
guys.
hired on skill.
Well, we should post a
I don't
photo.
care if they can't drive. I don't care if quarter black's quarter late all the time. They're just good at the job.
Yeah.
Quarter late.
He's quarter late. Diversity. Oh my god. Superfly1234 for $20. Says thanks, Gary, for recommending Silicon Valley. Great show. I recommended you Rise of the Shield Hero. 1% chance you'll watch it, but it's high fantasy anime with a crazy cool story, and it's dubbed. I'll give it a shot. I got some extra time this weekend. The only thing I'm doing tonight is I'm recording my intro for the Doctor Who video, so Perry can get a little bit of a head start. And I'm hanging out with family, eating turkey, and they're going to want to watch football. I'll watch some. I went to a football game, Chris.
I know, I saw you, and I was watching
That looks fun.
the Lions game and the game that you were at the same time at one of my favorite pubs in Pasadena. But like, it was great. The Lions are doing really well. This is
I'm happy for the Lions. I really am. I'm genuinely like kind of rooting for them now. This was my first football game since the Chargers played their last football game against the Raiders in 2017. That was my last football game. I went with my son. So my oldest son is still a Chargers fan. So I went with him and my brother-in-law. They're all cheeseheads here. I took my youngest son too. So it was just the boys. We had a good time. We had brats. Lambeau is a fucking great stadium. It is such an epic stadium. It's like, it's hollowed. It's like the Yankee Stadium for football. It's football holy ground, right? They got the champions thing. Go see it was great. It was fun to go. Hearing Los Angeles before my Chargers like disgusted me. Like Last Jedi disgusts me. It disgusts me to my soul. Like watching the team I rooted for being part of Los Angeles. It just makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I fucking hear it. And watching, it's funny because like I want to root for him for my son. But then the way they lost at the end, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, they just, you can take the Chargers out of San Diego, dude, they still are the same fucking team. They can pull defeat out of the jaws of victory better than any other team alive. Okay, it was so fucking funny. So I was just laughing, and it's just like because I was joking before the game. I'm all to my brother-in-law. I went, don't worry. This is what's going to happen. The Chargers will take the lead, and then they'll give it up and lose in the fourth quarter, which is exactly what happened. So
that kind of describes. I hate to say this. That describes the Lions. It's I used to say that there's a saying the Lions have. It's not over till we lose. Because they would be up. They would be up by like 3 touchdowns, and I'm like, okay, they're up by 3 touchdowns. It's the second half. How are they going to lose this thing? And it would happen. But they're on a roll. They put together the pieces, and I'm excited. And I don't know if the Detroit Lions win and get in the Super Bowl, I will go because the Super Bowl is in Vegas this year. So I'm thinking I'll just go to Vegas and see if I've never been to a Super Bowl. I've done a lot of things like on a bucket list where I've been to the Playboy Mansion. There's an interesting story about that. Ask me in person. I can't tell it on the
The
I
last
can't
Super
wait
Bowl
to hear this.
I went to, was it? Yeah,
So
the
you
last
went to the Super Bowl?
I've been to 3 Super Bowls.
Oh wow, I've been
I
to.
went to one in the Rose Bowl where the Redskins played the Dolphins way back in the day.
Wow.
I saw the Chargers play the Niners get their fucking ass beat in Florida, and I met Donald Trump there.
Oh my God.
I met Donald Trump. He's tall. WG is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Cheers for $25. Thank you very much. And I also saw the Super Bowl where the Broncos played the Redskins in San Diego, and Doug Williams was when he was asked how long he'd been a black quarterback.
Oh my God.
So that one too. Bass player 2011 Iffy for $49.99.
Wow.
Talking of Doctor Who, Gary, unless I missed it, you as and Mahler still haven't revealed your top 5 episodes. No, we haven't. And we'll probably do it next week.
I think what you need to do is just do start a completely different show.
I think, yeah, we probably have
just
to do
that's all you do is make lists.
Real BBC special.
Right.
We'll work on
Or
it.
like a Doctor Who
9-part special.
The 9-part special of Doctor Who. Take this forth with So Flame War can begin. The aside, happy Turkey week. May your food comas be glorious. They will be, brother.
Yeah.
I love Thanksgiving. Oh, we didn't get to it. Okay, I want you guys a little homework after the show. And I'll cover it. We'll cover it on FNT. A little homework. There's a Screen Rant article. There's 8 reasons why The Rings of Power is better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. You will have quite the chuckle reading it, okay?
How could anyone with a straight face even say that?
It's screen retard now. That's what they are.
Right.
They're screen retard or screen cunt, whatever one you want to use. Please feel free to use it. But yeah, it's I was reading it this morning and I was like, you're just trying to get us to make videos about you now, motherfuckers. And you know what? It's not even what I can think of. Yes, there are some reasons there. You know what? There. I think the term was things they did better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Well, they sucked better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. They defiled Tolkien's work better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. There's, things like that. They certainly did better. They lost more of their audience than Lord of the Rings. Certainly. So they lost more. They lost better than Lord of the Rings, which didn't lose. Fuck, they make The Hobbit look good. The Hobbit trilogy. I've gone back and watched them. I still like them. They're not good though. Goji the King for $20. I lost 99% of my friends due to the identity politics in current day. Yes, my wife has lost a bunch of friends because she wasn't going to put up with the shit, and it's pretty sad, really. A lot of friends in San Francisco, a lot of friends from the hair salon, a lot of people she helped out. Fucking turned their back on her, stabbed her in the back because she simply wasn't going to put up with shit after losing her business. That's the way it goes. It's fucking sad, but they were never your friends. These nerd geek channels are all I really need now. Keep up the good fight. Nerds are not alone. Hail the fellowship. You are not alone. Okay.
Hail.
Hail.
You're not alone. You're not crazy. You're right, and you're winning. That's most of the content creators I know came to YouTube. I started watching more YouTube because it was just like something I watch UFO videos and whatever and instructional stuff. But I started coming to it more when I started realizing that the entertainment news outlets I was reading, I'm like, they're full of shit now. Like they used to not be like this. They used to be somewhat objective. Bleeding Cool used to be somewhat objective. CBR used to be somewhat objective. And the change was noticeable. It was fast, and it was right around 2015, 2016. It's really fucking weird how that happened. What you were bringing up earlier. Star Trekker 58 for $20 Australian. Thank you. Yeah. Why old movies are better. The people were better. Real life experience. Yes. Why old movies were better. The people were better. Real life experience like the Depression or World War I or World War II toughen you up. Yes, that is true. That is true. As opposed, I am one generation away from my dad who grew up was born in the Depression, was dirt fucking poor, had nothing, no power, and lived in South Dakota. Coal-fired fucking stove was what kept him warm at night. You know, that's my dad. We're not that far away. Like people would have no concept of that now. As opposed to today's movie makers who were misgendered or bullied at school. Whoop-de-doo. Fuck them. Yeah. God. A Doctor Who episode is going to be something else. Retro Meister for $50 says, "Hail crew, I wanted to ask your guys your take on Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Despite the bait and switch episodes 1 and deceptive marketing, does the new writer justify having an alternative timeline or does not hurt the fan base like the He-Man revelation?" If Brian, is it Brian Lee O'Malley? Something like that. Brian Lee O'Malley. If he signs off on it, then he's the creator and that's his prerogative. Here's my hot take on Scott Pilgrim. I like the movie by Edgar Wright and I never liked the fucking book, but I sold the shit out of it in my store. Okay. I never liked the art. I didn't like the story very much. I thought they compacted it really well in the movie. So I like the movie because I'm an Edgar Wright fan, but I never, ever liked the book. But they sold like fucking mad in my store. Wow. Like crazy. I hate it. I don't like the art. I don't like the art. And I think that's I think it's Cal Arts art. That's the way I see it. I know a lot of people love it.
Where it's like sometimes, and you see this sort of Cal Arts thing where it's like almost like bad on purpose. Like, look how bad this art is, but it's not bad. It's squiggly lines like that Aquaman cartoon they did for Max, which is awful. That's why no one's talking about it. It just sort of came and went. Do you even remember it?
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember all that shit. And like his art isn't as bad as that, but
right.
It's still bad. I'm not into cartoony kitty looking art. I like I'm an American comic book superhero art snob or fantasy art snob. That's the way that's what I like. But it's undeniable that it was an immensely popular story that again made me a lot of money at the comic store. And I like the movie and I watched the first a couple episodes and I just wasn't into it. I'm like, no. But if the creator signs off on it and he says, you know, I want people to have different interpretations of my work, it's his prerogative. It's up to you as fans whether you like it or not. It's still a bait and switch. It's still a bait and switch. That's what it is. But you know, maybe it's a little more honest because it said takes off. So maybe if it was you know, Star Wars Episode 8, Luke Skywalker takes off. Last of Us 2, Joel takes off. You know, Hawkeye takes off. That would have been a little more honest. Maybe, I don't know. It's up to you. It's a bait and switch. I think it's different with He-Man because it wasn't the He-Man creator involved. It was Kevin fucking Smith, and he lied to the audience because it was a straight up bait switch, and it wasn't about He-Man at all. But more importantly, he lied, and he got caught, and then he tried to dunk on Clownfish. So fuck him.
Yeah,
I stand with Clownfish. I stand with Clownfish TV. Great channel. I watch all their videos. Fun people.
Same.
Good people. Neon's a good dude.
Same.
Neon's a good dude. Josh Torado for $20 says, "Hey guys, thanks for all you do and the success of the Rippaverse. This has inspired me to also pursue the same dream. Keep fighting the good fight. We are taking back our culture." Being inspired, that's rad. Like, I think that would probably be one of the most, one of the most rewarding things is people liking your stuff and then making money off it. But I think inspiring people, pretty fucking rewarding. And I think that's one of the takeaways that Eric, he's probably dumbfounded by it. It's like, I'm actually inspiring. Like, how crazy is all of this? And how great is this country that a kid like Eric, because when he started on YouTube, he was a kid, could find all this success, a self-made man, Renaissance man, can do multiple creative things. And he didn't have anybody fucking helping him. He didn't latch himself on some big corporation. Did it like completely punk rock, completely independent. And that's the way it should be done. He'll hate this, but Eric is the embodiment of the American dream. Eric July.
He is. No, he's inspired me just watching him for years.
Yep.
Love it.
David, how do I say this last name? I don't want to screw it up.
I've never seen this before,
Why
but
don't you just screw up and
Retugui.
Retugui?
I don't know.
For 30 pens.
Sorry.
For 30 Martian pesos says, hey guys, my personal superhero comic book recommendation is Common America. I know Common America. It's not only a breath of fresh air from the current industry, but it's also one hell of a story. Go check it out. All right. We're going to get the rest on a square up, which I'm doing tomorrow night on Nerdrotic Live. So special Thanksgiving broadcast, little Q&A. We got a lot of catching up to do, a lot of great questions here that people paid for that I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer all of them after my turkey. So no time for food coma for me. And, also, not everybody gets to hang out with their family on Thanksgiving. I've had lonely Thanksgivings. I've had Thanksgivings on the street. I've had Thanksgivings in prison. And I know not everybody's got their family around or doesn't have a family. So join me on a live stream tomorrow night. And we'll just chill out and I'll answer questions. Yeah. Cool. Chit chat.
Do you know the way to prevent a food coma with turkey?
What's that?
So there's a compound in turkey that's called a protein, tryptophan.
Yes.
And it gets activated by carbohydrates. So the less carbs you have, the less sleepy you'll be. Mm-hmm.
I could listen to X-Ray Girl talk about her favorite proteins all day.
Hey, X-Ray Girl, I got an idea for a square. I got an idea for we can't do it on this one because it's Thursday and you're probably busy, but for the next square up. So I'll read the questions and I want you to and you'll be playing Alex Jones NWO game.
What?
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
Sure.
So next square up we do, I'll answer questions and X-Ray Girl will play the Alex Jones NWO game.
What does NWO mean?
New World Order.
Okay,
oh
thank
my
you.
God, X-Ray Girl.
I was thinking like NWA, and I was like, it's not coming out right.
This world, X-Ray Girl, except when you start drinking White Claws, and then you turn into a freaking foul-mouthed sailor. But don't you think that's a good idea? I think it's a good. I came up with the idea.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do
Project
it.
Egg Roll got their video taken down for playing NWO. That's what gave me the idea. So, by the way, subscribe and support Project Egg Roll.
Egg Roll.
We love Project Egg Roll.
We love Project Egg Roll.
Who we might see in a couple weeks.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's right. Yeah.
I think, yeah. So not this square, but the next one. Please join me, X-Ray Girl. I want you playing the Alex Jones game while I answer questions because I think it'd be fucking funny.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
That's good. And I can fill you in on all the Alex Jones-isms because I've been watching Alex for a decade. Big fan.
I just love his,
he goes
songs.
back to Art Bell. He goes back to, coast to coast days. So, Chris, what do you got coming up?
Film Threat. Our live cast on Wednesday is Hollywood on the Rocks. Ing the Merciless will be there. We are inching closer and closer to 100,000. We're almost at 97,000 subs. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we make it before the end of the year. So please check out. And I'm very proud of our live stream thumbnail.
Okay.
Some people, the live stream thumbnail, it's actually in the private chat and something I can't talk to you about on the stream, Gary. We'll talk after. So join us for it's a Marvel's-less Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that thumbnail. Shout out to Glenn Brown, our producer who made that thumbnail. I was like, what about Brie Larson's head on a turkey? Can we just do that? Like, just keep it simple. Like, because we're talking about a bunch of random stuff on the show. But yeah, so that's our thumbnail. Oh, so you're reading the other thing. Okay, we have to talk about that after.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that after. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That, I mean,
a person texted me that last week when my one tweet kind of blew up. So he was just like, "Hey,
that's funny." Well, there was a lot of it for that show. There was a lot of there was a lot of intention. There's a lot of good intentions going to Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, and then it gets usurped by somebody else. And they come in, and usually they're less talented. Most likely, they're less talented and don't give a shit about the thing that they just spent a bunch of money for. So they turned it. So they go to the message because that's all they know, and it protects them. It shields them from criticism. Well, at least that was the rule back in the day. Not the rule now. Not so much now because that shit's losing so much money for them. It can't protect them. So sweet. All right. Cool, Chris. X-Ray Girl, what you got coming up?
After this, I'm gonna play my the Lord of the Rings Moria game on my channel, X-Ray Girl, YouTube, Rumble Locals, Kick, and then Poor Choices tonight, Sip and Chill with Tugs. And it's been a while since we've streamed together, so we got lots to talk about. And yeah, I'm gonna stream a lot tomorrow too because Thanksgiving, and it's a normal day for me. I'm Canadian.
Don't they have a Canadian Thanksgiving?
It already happened.
Already happened.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm putting the Canadians to work.
Putting the Asians to work.
Putting the Asians to work because that's what you guys like to do. That
Oh yeah. You know the Chinese restaurants are always open on every holidays.
Yeah, there you go. Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story, which is being re-released to theaters. Like a
Oh,
lot of
good.
classic films.
Well, yeah, I think Elf is being released too because it's got an anniversary. Nightmare Before Christmas, it might still be out. Had a 30-year anniversary. That's fucking insane.
I don't remember this being like, I know we got to go, but I don't remember this being a trend that so many classic movies are being released. I would love to see the box office combined.
I think it was forced. I think they had to. I think they had to pivot because they were getting shit, and I think it's a good idea.
I think so. I think so.
I'd go watch Elf in the theater again. Hell yeah.
I went to see recently saw Back to the Future and Nightmare Before Christmas. It was awesome in a theater. It was great. The crowd loved it because think about it. There's whole generations of people who didn't see those films in first release, never saw it in a theater. Different experience.
Different experience. So thanks again. Remember, no Nerdrotic Nooner next week, but there will be there'll be a recording of our panels that you'll be able to see probably on Film Threat, and I'll share it in the community section here. But then we'll be back the following week. Friday Night Tights is going on as scheduled, and the Doctor Who comes out day after.
Oh my God, Gary, I'm sorry.
I feel so bad going this direction it's going in because it's so good right now.
It didn't enter my mind. I'm like, okay, at worst it'll be just like an average episode, right? Now I'm thinking it's gonna suck.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna
be trash. And after watching that Children in Need special, that was embarrassingly bad. So who's on FNT?
Sutter and Craig.
Sutter and Craig will be joining us from Side Scrollers. And remember, Az is taking the entire month off in December, but we have Disparu and Mahler stepping in for him.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
Brit takeover. The real Brits.
Hail Snow Dub. Thanks, buddy. Maybe I'll see you soon. I don't know if you'll be in LA or not. And thank you all again. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who loves Super Chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Remember, if you're watching this, just keep the link. It's going to be unlisted. If you missed any portion, it'll be uploaded on Nerdrotic Live in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So
sub
bye,
over
everybody.
there.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 100,000 on Nerdrotic Live. But Chris, again, how close are you?
Very close. Or 3,000 away. Little over 3,000 away.
Subscribe to Film Threat, please. You should have told me that at the beginning of the show.
Oh, I'm telling you now. Yeah. Alan always is texting me during the show.
Remind me to shout you guys out on FNT.
Make sure you sub because I might be wearing sandals in LA.
We're definitely subbing.
Oh, we got to have the foot camera. Yeah. We're in crunch time. I'm going to have to do some stuff I would normally not do to beat Dan Bask. So I want to apologize to my audience in advance. And it will stop once. Is Lauren Chen close to 100 too? Oh, sub to Lauren Chen.
Yeah.
She's great.
Isn't she past 100?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a spinoff channel.
Maybe it's the Mediaholic one.
Oh, okay.
You're close to 1 million. Well, you're 100,000 away from 1 million now.
90.
Last I looked. 90,000?
909.
When you get to 1 million, there has to be like an FNT special or just something to celebrate 1 million. That is a huge. Don't you get like a different plaque then from?
Yeah, there's a other plaque you get.
1 million. I cannot wait. Please do 1 million celebrations. I think those are kind of lame sometimes when people do it, but like that's a huge achievement, 1 million. And it just, I don't know. I think it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
Nerdrotic
Harry
feelings.
Chan.
Get the channel to 1 million subs. Also sub there.
yeah, sub there too. Everyone.
we're close to 910. We're very close to 910. So
Oh, that's great.
Hail Perry Chan, by the way, and we will see you all next time around. Ciao.
Later.